How we doing, team? See all the boxes behind me? People keep sending me stuff to review. It's brilliant. Although my wife's a little bit cagey. So I need to get this film out to save my life. Otherwise, she's going to have my guts for Garthers. She thinks I'm spending all my money on sim racing. First up, some Meca Cups. Let's get on with it. Credits. Okay, so just a little disclaimer before we kick off today. I haven't purchased these pedals. They've actually been supplied to me free of charge on a loan basis, just so I can have a go with them and give a review of how I think they are. Now, they've been supplied by a company called Race at Home, who are based in the UK. Race at Home are the current stockists for Pimax VR headsets. They also are the UK suppliers for OBP and the Meca Cup pedals. As well as that, they've got quite a range of motion rigs, and they've got some in store that are there ready for customers to try out. So might be worth just giving the guys at Race at Home, Bob and Aaron, a call, and maybe just pop in and have a bit of a play on some of their setups. Now, I will drop a link in my description down below to their website, so by all means give them hit them up, give them a message, tell them that Smoking Still has sent you on your way. Right, let's get on with it.
Okay, so let's have a look at these pedals. So in front of us we've got the Meca Cup ones, made in the Czech Republic, and a great looking set of pedals out of the box. I would say straight away, compared with the other pedals that I've seen, these are looking the most substantial, and for sure they're the heaviest. So they're constructed out of 3mm laser cut stainless steel, which is what gives them the weight, and very, very sturdily made. Got a nice finish on them. They're actually shot peened finish, and then on the face plates, on the pedal face plates, they've got a glass bead shot finish, which just gives a bit more grip. Looks quite nice. Got a bit of variability here. So these are an older pedal, and you can see, so the stainless will come very shiny to begin with, and then all stainless does not deteriorate, but patinas over time. So we've got 2 degrees of finish here. This is the throttle pedal and the clutch pedal are older pedals, so you can see they're a little bit duller, and this brake pedal is actually a newer pedal. So you can just see the difference in the finish from new to, say, a few months down the line to what you're going to get. So just a little bit more patina finish. Really cool. Right, so let's start with the throttle pedal. So as I said, 3mm plate, laser cut, so very exact. Looking at the pedal straight away, we've got a good amount of adjustability. So start off with a big adjustable, so actually tilting the whole foot plate forward and backwards. You use this adjustment here, so same as most of the other pedals. Undo 2 bolts, one either side, and you can slide the whole pedal mechanism up from the foot plate. We've got 18 degrees of movement forward and backwards, so really good varying degree of movement. On the pedal, we've got these are full Loadcell pedals again, so like the Sprints and like the VRS. So I'm not sure how big this Loadcell is. I can't see anything on there to indicate, but it is a Marvin Loadcell, so it's the same Loadcells as are on that they use in the VRS. So UK-based company, easy to get hold of as well in the future should you need to. So we've got the Loadcell underneath. We've got a 3D printed box on the back, which contains all our electrical wizardry, all the witchcraft goes on in there. We've got a standard rod and spring design. Lots of adjustability on that. We've got a nice little cradle for the rod to sit in, which can actually move up and down to reduce any friction on a rod, or minimize any friction on a rod. Also on the back, we've got a nice little rubber bump stop on the back of the rod, so that when the pedal does release, it does in quite a soft manner. We've got a big 3D printed adjustment knob to set the preload on the spring. And then we have the pressure adjustment on the pedal, which is a simple, pretty standard design. So you move this lever point up to the top for stiffest and down to the bottom for the softest pedal. And then you can also fine tune with a preload on the spring. So overall, they look pretty well made. Really nicely put together. Really good hardware. So this little bit here, you can see there's an off-center brass bush. That's actually the throttle stopper. And you can see there, so it's off-center drilled, so we can undo that bolt, spin this whole bush around to set our throttle stop, which is really nice. That kind of brings out the steampunk in me. Foot plate, it's really good length, very long, set on nearly the lowest setting, so it'll actually go one lower than this according to the holes. So we've got a lot of holes on the back as well. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus. So yeah, on the back there we've got a lot of different adjustment holes as well, so you can pick and choose where you mount it. Basically it's offset from the plate. You can see just in between there's some little bushes. They're actually hexagonal bushes, so you can put a spanner in to hold them to undo the pedal and then set the height. So we've got full adjustability up and down. Haven't got any side to side adjustability, but not the end of the world. But it's quite a nice, it's a little thin. I'd say maybe a little smaller than you'd find on the average road car. But I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. And there's so much length to it. I think it's going to be just fine. Very thick plate. There's no flex in it at all, even at the bottom there. So I've got quite a lever point on there, and I can't flex it in any way. So really good, really nice. So onto the bushings in there, for self-lubricating. So they use this for bushings, and then it stays nice and smooth. There's no need to put oars or anything on to keep them smooth. I will say there is a little bit more friction than there would be with a bearing bushing as using the VRS, but nonetheless, it still feels pretty good. So on the back, we've got a good cable, solid bolted joint, really nice quality cable, EMS protected, really nice screw-on fitting on the end of it as well. So yeah, all in all, really impressed with that. I cannot get over the fact of how heavy these pedals are. They are super heavy. You are never going to break these pedals. 3mm stainless steel for the win. Right, onto the important one. So brake pedal again, and this thing, she's a beast. It's a Goliath. So same construction again, 3mm stainless steel, lots of bracing bars, spider bars in between. We've got on the back 200 kilo Marvin load cell underneath, sorry. Same adjustments for the pedal face rotation on the back here. So again, 18 degrees of adjustment fore and aft. On the foot plate, we've got that glass bead shot peen finish again, just to give a little more purchase for your foot on there. And we've got full adjustability on height. So again, with the holes on the back, we can move the pedal up, down. We've also got left and right adjustability as well by one set of holes. So pretty good adjustability there. Nice size brake pedal. Not too big, not too small, just right. Nice chamfered line at the top, which will aid the tone heel and toe. So we've got the classic bump stop design. We're using spherical motorsport bushings for the main part of the pedal. And they look really good with some nice little 3D printed top hats in there, the plastic spacers in between, but it all looks good. Pretty high quality spherical bushing. And then we come down to the main part. So we've got the classic rod and bushing design, but the addition is this to this is with the bushes, with the rubber bump stops, sorry, we've also got these aluminium hats, should we call them, that fit around the outside. Now, the idea of these hats is that when you compress a rubber bump stop, any rubber, you take a rubber from a pen, if you push it down and compress it, it'll compress so far and then eventually the sides will bulge out and you'll lose some of the downward force. You'll get a discrepancy in the downward force as the force is lost through the side movements. Now the aim of these aluminium cups is to keep the bushing compressed in the middle. So as you push it from end to end, the rubber bump stops can't bulge out and lose any of that force. So really, really neat idea. I'm going to be really keen to see how these go. Now in there, on the Meca website, they mention as well that when these cups, when the rubber bump stops compress and these cups actually touch together, you then also get a very solid end of pedal feel. So much more like a real road car. So again, really looking forward to having a go with these and seeing how they are. So with the pedals, you get supplied 3 different sets of bushes. So 3 different colours. So I've got them in the bag here. So you've got the blacks, orange and blue. So the blacks that are in there now, they're the softest rubbers that come with the set. And then you've got the blue, which is the mediums, and then the orange are the hards. So you only get 2 of each, and you can see there's 3 in there, but you can kind of mix and match as well to give this sort of a really variable, progressive feel on the pedal. So it'd be interesting to have a really good play around with those and see how they go. So pretty easy to change by the look of it. I believe it's just undoing this bolt at the end. We'll slide the bar out and then remove and change the rubbers, the bump stops as we go. So again with this pedal, so we got bushings in the pivot points. So that would be for me the only. I mean they're good, but they do just provide a little more friction than a bearing would. But still very good nonetheless. I absolutely love the fitting or the cutting, like because these are laser cut side plates. Just look at how exact they are. Really nicely fitting, and that gets the fabricator and me all excited. So yeah, pretty cool. Can't wait to get them on the rig. Now we get to the clutch pedal, and the clutch pedal just gets my inner nerve going because you don't see this design very much. So this is a really, really funky solution to the clutch pedal when trying to reenact what a real car clutch pedal would feel like as the clutch plates are engaging. So it's spring and cradle setup. Basically what we've got on the top here is rotating pivot, sort of thing we'd find in a single-seater suspension, and it's fully adjustable. So on the drop downs we've got these 2 springs, and these aren't compressed like normal, they're stretched, so they're set up to be in this stretched format. Now this pedal's set up very, very stiff, so I don't know if I'll be able to activate it on the, Jesus, there we go. So you can see, wow, lot of spring back there. So the springs are made to be stretched rather than compressed. And basically by adjusting this pivot point, this rocker arm, we can change the feeling of the pedal and how it's going to feel underfoot. So we've got stiffness settings on the pedal plate itself. So full stiff, full soft. Then we've got an adjustable rod. Now, if you adjust that rod up, that's also going to make a change on this rocker arm and give you a completely different feel of the pedal. So you could go from a very long pedal to a final click over at the very end of the pedal, or you can move that click right to the front. So it'll click almost straight away as you push it and then become very quick towards the end. So loads of adjustability in there. We've actually got 2 holes, so you can change the pivot point by changing the bolt holes. You can change the pivot point completely, but you can also finally adjust the pivot point by changing the length in this bar as well. So again, we've got that standard pedal faceplate adjustments at 18 degrees of movement. Obviously we've got our stiff and soft settings. We've got another Marvin Loadcell. Looks exactly the same as the one that's in the throttle pedal, but again, no markings on there to tell me how what rating that Loadcell is. And we've got a fully adjustable faceplate, again with that glass shopping finish. So up and down adjustment, side to side, much the same as the brake pedal. All in 3mm still again, and the 3D printed box on the back with all the witchcraft, and the same quality lead 3-point plugs. So no, they're looking pretty good. So also in the box we get the main control unit to plug all the wires into, plug the pedals into. You can see it's printed on the top with throttle, brake and clutch, and then you've got your USB cable in that goes out to your PC. So there's a couple of options with these pedals. You can buy them with a foot plate. I'll try and put some B-roll up and show you the foot plate. I didn't take that foot plate with this delivery because it's just not worth using, because I can't fit it to my rig because my rig's too small. So I've just got the pedals and the basically what you get in the cheapest option. There is a foot plate available as well, and it has the mounting specifically for this box. So, but the box actually mounts up the top here behind the pedals. Really neat design. So it's a 3D printed box, quite light, not a lot to it, but all the goodies are inside. It's actually a Leo Bodner board inside, so we know it's tried and tested. Quality electronics in there. Shouldn't have a problem with those at all. Let's talk about hardware, because these pedals do come with the hardware fittings as well, and they're really nice, good quality stuff, and you get more than enough to fit to your pedals. So let's talk about pricing. Let's start off with the Sprints. So the Sprints are €699 or $850 without a base plate, and they also don't contain hardware for fitting. So it's just the pedals and obviously the software to run them. So the Mecas come out at €770 or $840 and that's without a base plate. Now, if you take the base plate option, pushes up to €870 and $1,057. So not too bad. And then you've got the VRS. So the VRS price at the moment is €748 or $909 without any hardware and no base plate. So Mecas at the moment are sitting just above the VRS. So in terms of price, cheapest is Sprints at €699. Then you've got the VRS at $748, and then the Mecas at $770. So very close together on the pricing. All boils down to preference, and well, so I don't think budget really comes into it at that sort of pricing. It's too close together. Let's talk about overall or max brake forces as well between the three pedals. So if we start off with the Sprints, we know the Sprints are rated at 65 kilos at the foot plate. So 65 kilos from your foot touching the pedal. So the Meca Cups are rated at 100 kilos at the foot plate, and the VRS are rated at 130. So similar thing with the prices there. We've got a bit of variance in the max forces on the pedal, but interesting stats to know as well. All right, I've gone and stolen the wife's scale. She's going to kill me. Luckily, she's at work, so she doesn't know this is taking place. Hope she don't watch this film. If you don't hear from me for a few weeks, you don't see any reviews coming up, you know she's caught me. Right, so on with the Mecas first. So throttle pedal first, and that's 1.267 kilos. 1.268, sorry, kilos. So she's a heavy beast. If we compare that with the rather lightweight Sprints, 806 grams. So nearly half a kilo heavier. Brake pedal. one. Get up there. 1.623 kilos. To 1.28. So again, 400 grams heavier, and then onto the clutch pedal, which again is a beast. 1.336. So 1 kilo 336 grams. Lightweight. 876. So you can see the difference, see what I've been saying about the weight. Now that is going to be something to bear in mind as well if you're shipping these, because they do come out quite a bit heavier than other pedals. So if you're shipping across the States or across Europe, it might be something to bear in mind, because your budget's going to take a bit of a hit just on the weight of them compared to the Sprints and even the VRS. I say the VRS feel like they'd fall in between. Right in between. So Sprints are going to be the lightest, VRS next, and then these are the Goliaths, the heavyweights, the big daddies at the end. Right. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I guess now all that's left to do is to get them on a rig, and I'm going to have a play around with them, and we'll see how we go. And I will report back to you with my findings. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.